It don't matter how hot the girls are. If your music is lame, we can help with that though. The Professional Adult Nightclub DJ Association presents PANDA Off the Charts. Brand new tracks for the strip club industry to make your set sound fresher, more energized, and to keep things bumping. Here are your hosts, Danny Meyers, Elon Fong, and Bob Chiappardi.
All right, man. Welcome back to PANDA Off the Charts. So what's hot in the strip clubs podcast on Pantheon Podcast Network. Our guest today, this is absolutely incredible. We have got a band that is from, Seattle, Washington. Mm-hmm. It's a six-piece band called Limberlost. And with us today, we have Michael, Burt, and Brittany Lauren with us. How are you guys today?
Woohoo! Welcome.
Yeah. Now this
Happy
is
to be here, man.
Yeah. This is a six-piece band, right?
Yes, the rest of them are under the desk.
There you go.
Now.
So we've got the two of you
That's
here.
an interesting dynamic. We might not be the right podcast for that part of it, but
yeah.
Brittany is blushing, everybody. Brittany is blushing.
There you go. Let me start off by introducing you guys. Now, Michael, you are the drummer, correct?
That's great.
And we've got Brittany, who is one of the vocalists. It's a two-female vocal band. You are one of the vocalists, right?
Yeah, I usually sing harmonies, and then sometimes we kind of trade off that lead line, but Crystal usually has that lead line, and I sing harmony.
Yeah, I listened to your pretty much of your Spotify playlist and stuff, so I got to pick up on a lot of things, and I really like the sound. How long have you guys been together?
The band originally formed in probably about 2011. With certain iterations of it. The writing started about then. The band as it sits right now has been just over 4 years. We'd had some membership changes in late 2018, and that's when Brittany and Tony joined the group. So it's been about 4 years with this lineup.
Okay, Alannah?
Well, man, this is an exciting band to me. This is like, you don't see many six-piece bands. And with two female vocalists, you got that whole Fleetwood Mac vibe. You got the heart thing going on with Ann and Nancy Wilson. Harmonies are huge for me. Anyone who listens to the show knows I'm always like, don't let the lead singer sing every part. It gets boring. It gets repetitive. You need different tones. You need different sounds. Let the other people in the band sing backups, damn it. I tell baby bands, two girls you need to know, harmony and melody. They're wonderful ladies, which will lead you to success.
They're next on stage too.
I like this guy.
That being said, man, you picked one hell of a song to cover. We're going to get to that in just a second, but I wanted to talk a little bit about, the two female vocal thing is, like I said, very rare. The way your voices blend is obviously very important and which is going to make you unique. How do you approach when you're writing songs together? Is it everyone brings a song? Are there main songwriters? And I know as a vocalist, you always want to say, at least in the vocal melody line, a little bit and the lyrics usually. So kind of give me a little picture of the process.
Yeah, the cool thing about this band is that we're a little bit of like a black box theater. There is no specific design, like everybody can bring in a song and it can take any shape. So for instance, Mike has brought in a song where every part was written. He had kind of the whole shape of it, and these are the words, and here's the melody. He's humming it to Crystal, and here's how the bass goes, and here's how, and then on another side, I had a song I brought in where I just had piano. I just had this piano kind of groove, and I had these words, and I had this melody, but the words ended up changing a little bit, and that ended up being on the album that was in the garden, So we've had another song where our last one right before Black Velvet that we released, Long Way From Home, that one was one where the keyboard player had these really cool chords that he had come up with, and he had also come up with those words, pleased to meet you, and he had this whole groove he sent to Crystal. He didn't send any of us in the band. He
You
sent
heard
it
her
to
voice, damn it.
Crystal. I'm like, well, shit, that is, whatever. It's fine. I'm not offended. I'm kidding. So he sends it to Crystal. Crystal comes up with this really cool thing. They get together a couple times. The two of them come together. Hey, we got this song. So really, there is no right way. There is no wrong way if you are a songwriter. And then likewise, we've also had people who haven't, who have added to and contributed songs, but not brought in their own, like, hey, this is my song idea. So we're all over. We accept all the things.
Very absolutely. Nice. And I think you're at a perfect time. There's a long history of powerhouse vocalists from Ann and Nancy Wilson to Pat Benatar, who just made the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Pat. Linda Perry, Amy Lee, Dorothy. Where do you fit in, and how do you look at the future of rock right now, with females seeming to be taking the lead a lot in successful rock bands?
It's a wave right now, like you said, and I think it's probably been not right now, but I think probably for the last 4 or 5, 6 years, I think you've been seeing this build up, and I've even noticed it just because I follow a lot of bands that I feel are at that next level that I want to aspire to, and I see more and more female artists. I mean, and then you dig back a little bit, and you've got the Hailstorms and the Nightwish and some of these others that are just there's. Yeah, I don't think it's a thing that's new, but I don't think it's a thing that's been probably pushed as hard as it's being pushed now, and it's very I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm excited about where it's going to go. I mean, because for me as a songwriter, and also, the kind of the internal manager of the band, it's the marketing potential is endless, with it, and the opportunities to sing and to create we're not one dimensional. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of different ways we can go. We can attempt to go after songs too, to cover or remake and stuff that not everybody can do, because they don't have this,
Right.
going on. So yeah, I think it's really I think we're going to be really surprised over the next 4 or 5 years what we see in rock and roll, and
Yes.
especially with women kind of fronting the stage.
Yeah, and I want to add to that a little bit too, because just I mean, if you study music, right, there's always this ebb and flow, and I'm gonna big time generalize it and put it together that you can even see like the initiation of rock as being a rebel to that music that was pristine and happy. I could go all the way back to classical Mozart with this.
Mm-hmm.
But you if I'm just going back the last whatever years, you had that rock music, and then you had grunge, which also went back to what's this techno, all this technology, grunge it. You know what I mean? How high tuned can we turn it that it distorts?
Right.
So, suddenly we hear that, we want to hear reality. We want to hear reality. And I think that's kind of what's happening. Why are you hearing rock singers come back? Why are you hearing these powerhouse vocalists taking the stage? Because they can sing those things, and they don't rely on the autotune, and they don't rely on those things, and they are those powerhouse vocals. And you know what? We've had a good decade of longer than that, probably 20 years of heavily technology, whatever
Technology,
music,
Digital music. Yeah.
Digital music that I think that people hear that it's the same reason records are coming back. People get reality for a minute, and it will ebb and flow. You know what I mean? And we're riding that wave.
Well, we don't, and then also you've got something that it doesn't get mentioned a lot, but this male screamo thing that took over a lot of metal and stuff like that, and to the point where you don't even know, and now you have this. I can actually hear the words and hear the melodies and stuff like that, and the harmonies and stuff like that. So it fills that void. So her point though is like, there's room for all of it, but I think I think rock is crying out for what I'm going to say, because I'm an old guy. It's to get back to its classic roots a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think
you're right.
I mean, guys that can record to tape, that didn't need digital, that didn't have ability to move their crap around in a computer,
Right.
the wrecking crews of old, and stuff that I'm going, wow, how did the Beach Boys do what they did?
Wow.
They didn't have all this crap, that they could fix it all, but they just had to be good.
Yeah, right.
Well, what I want to do, because I want to talk a lot about this song that you just covered. You just took the classic Black Velvet song. But before we talk about Black Velvet, I want to play your cover of it. And I can only play about 45 seconds of it on the show, but I really want all of you, when you're done listening to this show, go on Spotify and listen to the full-length thing, because this 45 seconds doesn't really do it justice. I want to play 45, and then we're going to come back and talk to you about it. So here we go. This is Limberlost.
Mississippi in the middle of a dry spell. Jimmy Rogers on the Victrola up high. Mama's dancing with the baby on her shoulders. The sun is setting like molasses in the sky. The boy could sing, knew how to move everything. Always wanting more. He leave you longing for
Yeah, that is Limberlost. We are here with Michael Burt and Brittany Lauren from Limberlost here with us. So, Brittany, you sang backup on that. Your main singer who sings the lead is Crystal. And I got to say that, first of all, your harmonies match. I mean, they just really, really fit. And I want to ask you guys a question. I think we talked earlier about it, about Crystal. Now, you say that Crystal is kind of a one-take singer. Did she nail that one in one take?
Most of it. I would say there was a couple things we went back and moved around just because, again, this was a song we hadn't never really played and rehearsed like this production. So we went in with kind of, eyes glued open a little bit to the fact that there might be a couple things we have to move around a little bit to make it work. But her approach to singing that, I would say that probably 90% of the song was the first take. And
Wow.
and she very rarely, if at all, ever has pitch corrections. It's very, it's very
That's
rare
nice.
that happens. It is nice, but sometimes it's what's even funnier about it. I'll take it a step further. Is sometimes I'll hear something or our engineer will hear something, and we'll go, "Oh, that was a little," and she goes, "Yeah, I wanted that like that. I meant to do that."
Wow.
And it's like, "Oh, okay."
You're
So
a great
even
singer. I'm like, no, I'm intentionally off key a little bit to give it the right emotion.
Yeah, I just wanted to be a little flat there. I wanted to drag it. You know what I'm saying? And I, we give her a lot of latitude with that. And it's and she she's just great. I would say that, like I said before, though, sometimes she sometimes will just deliver this thing and we'll go, "That's it. Oh my God, it hit me right here." And she's like, but I want to do it better. No, you can't. So we powder her out of the room. But I'm kidding about that. But the point being is that it's it's amazing to work with somebody that has that much raw natural ability.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, when I first heard you guys were covering this song, it's one of my all-time favorite songs. It's a classic strip club song, and I'm like, I don't know if people really want to touch that because it's a really hard song to cover. Obviously, her vocal performance is off the charts. She's got great range, great soul, great feel. And if you noticed when I was listening, I was pointing because you gave me goosebumps. All right. So some of the harmonies in particular were very different than the original and very cool. So I didn't expect it, and my body went.
Yes. I love about that. It's cool too because the version we had played on stage, this was so interesting. I actually chose higher harmonies. I was doing a lot of higher things because we had filler guitar, we had keys in the middle. There was just so much happening in the middle that the higher harmony stood out. And so when we went to record it, that's what I did. I did what I had been doing on stage. And Mike pulls me into the studio, and we go in and we listen to it. And he just has me listen to it, and he's like, "Does this work?" And I'm like, "It doesn't work. It doesn't work." So then we go back, we listen to the album, we're listening to the track, we're like, okay, this is where it needs to live. And so it was kind of a similar scenario in the sense that then I had like a little bit of time. Next day I went to the studio and we did like kind of brand new harmonies that lived underneath her, which is not usual. There's rare times where I live underneath her, and it just was a really cool thing. And then I'm so glad you said those couple of moments. That harmony line originally just kind of stays on one note.
Right.
I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna
Play around it, right?
move with her.
The other cool thing is the original she's really laid back on the groove, right? In the vibe. And the attack that Crystal and you guys chose rhythmically is much more, it's just much more on it, right? And so that dynamic is different. So at first I'm expecting to kind of hear that, and I'm like, oh, wait a second. And so I thought it was really cool. You did make it your own, and that's the most important thing when you do a great cover. You nod to the original so people know you're not pissing on it, right? But make it your own. And so I think that's a great job. I can't wait to hear, because the end part is part of some of my favorite stuff when she goes into the falsetto and all that stuff. I want to hear what you guys did with it.
Oh, that's the money shot, baby, right there.
Right? So I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of it, especially that end part. Let's see where you guys went.
There you go. So tell me a little bit, are you guys playing out? Are you touring? Anything in the works right now?
Right now, we've been spending the vast majority of the last 2 or 3 years, very interesting coming out of COVID and so forth. We had just gotten to a place at the end of 2019 where I was working with Paul Crosby quite a bit, and I'd met some people. We just won a couple awards with this outfit out of Atlanta called the International Singer-Songwriter Association, and they invited us back there to play. I think we just got an album of the year, and they invited us back to play at the next award show. Well, then, so we built a whole tour based off of that, and
To go to 2020.
yeah, 2020 Atlanta, and it was all the way back through coming back, back to Seattle, and we had all the dates locked in and all that, and then COVID and everything just started to fall apart, and we never really spent any time trying to figure that out. We didn't cancel anything. We just kind of watched and stuff. Like I said, we never canceled any shows.
Shows canceled on us.
They
And that's
canceled.
okay. And we dealt with it as it came. But our approach to it was, okay, we want to keep the train moving however we can keep the train moving.
Yeah, we're not. My goal, my statement to the band always was to say, listen, we're going to abide by all the rules, do whatever we got to do. We're going to be good people, blah blah blah. But when the barn doors open and the wave comes rushing through, we're going to be riding that wave, not paddling for it.
Right.
So we focused on making sure that we were doing. I booked our 2021 tour during COVID. People were not answering the phones. They weren't. And so when we came out of the chute right there at July, when we knew everything was good to go, and we had all these dates lined up, and we were playing Sturgis, and we were, we're the Hard Rock on Vegas Strip, and people were like, "Well, how'd you get?" It's like, dude, we booked those shows. We went after. So we spent a lot of time doing that, and then we went out last year pretty hardcore. We had a lot of fun, for what we could do.
We had this product, right? Coming out of COVID, right at that time, we had Good Fight recorded. We had just finished up Stand By You with Timothy. We had these amazing songs. We had just started working on another one, so we had a product. We had an album that we were working on. Our goal was to create this product and go put that product out. Mm-hmm. And so we're looking at, okay, a lot of other bands are either going to content writing, right? They're just creating content in their pause, or they're pausing and they're not performing, or they're like breaking up or something. And we didn't want to follow any of those suits. So what can we do? Well, we have content and we can try to go put it out there. Who can take it, and how can we still do it, and how can we still perform, and how can we still go? And so that's kind of what we did. And so it didn't really stop us. And then the amazing thing was, here's the crazy thing. That song, Good Fight, which was written about some relationship thing with Crystal. That's why I do this, because it's just like
don't minimize my feelings. Okay,
the universe was like, had a message to give and used whatever relationship thing with Crystal to write this song, is how I feel. You know what I mean? Because I'm sitting in my car, it's COVID time, and I listen to this song like something. So this was the whole thing. We decided, no, we're going to keep our message forward. We're going to keep our thing moving. And certainly if we hadn't done that, we wouldn't be making the song today. You wouldn't hear the production and the value and what we put forward today. So it's just, it was really a good move for us, and very grateful for Mike. He kind of glossed over it a little bit, but really it took him calling and also accepting risk. Yeah. Like, okay, we're going to book you, but we might pull out 2 weeks before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Totally get it. Well, Brittany, real quick, then let me let you do this. Go ahead. Sorry, Mike.
Oh, I was just to say, to answer the question, what we got going right now is, because of all the stuff we've been running around, chasing our tails, and then going out there, running around, having all the fun we've been having. We are now in kind of
back to content.
We're back to content, right?
Got it. Yeah. Cool.
We're focusing on our next album, and actually this is the coolest thing we've ever done, where we've not done this before. All of our other albums, the songs happened and then the album showed itself afterwards. This is, we kind of know that
we have a concept.
We have a concept.
Oh, that's cool.
And the songs are in that, and it's a really cool project to be taking on as a band.
Well, Brittany, real quick, let me go back to Black Velvet. I want you again to pitch it. Here's your chance to pitch Black Velvet to everyone in the strip club industry: entertainers, DJs, managers, press, everybody. Why should strip clubs play your version of Black Velvet in the clubs today?
Oh, yeah. I love this, because in the first 10 seconds, we are the walk. We are the heartbeat. We are the thing that gets that girl on the stage and brings her to you, let me tell you. Okay? Right in the beginning. And not just that, we are the gap between those 20-year-olds that are walking to you and those, what do I want to call them?
Cougars.
A little older.
Who would have known this original song, who will go, hell yeah. And then the group of people are this new generation who should should know this song, and we're the one who's going to bridge them together. That's what this song is.
We are the. I'll say this again. We are the grind to your bump with this song.
There you go. There you go.
All right. Well, so people can follow you. Let us know your social media, where they can connect with you. Website.
Yep. We're Limberlost Music just about everywhere except for Twitter. We're Limberlost Band. Don't ask me how that happened. But limberlostmusic.com. We're Limberlost Music on Spotify, Limberlost Music on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the places.
Very nice. Well, we want to take an opportunity to thank you for coming on our show here today. We got Michael Burt, Brittany Lauren from Limberlost, and we're going to get this song out to the strip club industry and see if we can get this thing possibly getting up on the Panda Top 20 chart. That's our goal.
Yeah.
That'd be slick. That'd be cool, guys. Thank you so much. It's been a blast.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Panda Off the Charts, presented by the Professional Adult Nightclub DJ Association. Now you know what's new. Get a full list of tracks from this show and previous shows at pandaoffthecharts.com.